What if you could reach your yearly goals in just 12 weeks? Usually we focus on planning for the whole year, but as strange as it sounds, yearly goals and plans often mess up our performance. The 12-week year shares a proven step-by-step system for achieving more in 12 weeks than others do in 12 months. There are 4 key takeaways from the book that can truly revolutionize your productivity. Let's start with the challenge we all face, the execution problem. We all know the phrase, knowledge is power, but it can be misleading. Knowledge is power only if you apply it. For example, we all know that to get in shape, we need to eat less and exercise more, yet nearly 2 out of 3 adults in the US are overweight. It's not knowledge we lack, it's action. Thomas Edison once said, "If we did all the things we are capable of, we would literally astound ourselves." We all know how to set goals, but the hard part is making them happen. It turns out that what truly harms our execution is our annualized thinking, which is the belief that there is plenty of time in the year to make things happen. Think about it. We start with big goals in January, but by the end of the month, we're already a bit behind. Yet, we believe we have 11 more months to catch up. By March, we're still behind, but not worried because we think there's still plenty of time left. This mindset continues almost all year. What we lack is urgency. We don't realize every week and every day matter. In most organizations, results spike at the end of the year because people work extra hard for 60 days to reach their goals. But why do this only at the end of the year? This brings us to the concept of periodization. Top performers know that breaking goals into smaller steps helps us focus better and work with urgency. Athletes have been practicing this for ages with periodization, where they focus intensely on one skill for a short time, usually 4 to 6 weeks. To be high performers, we should think like athletes and focus on shorter time frames. The authors have taken this idea and redefined the year as the 12-week year. That's right. Now, a year is a 12-week period, a month is a week, and a week is a day. By doing that, you create a sense of urgency, and there is nothing like a short deadline to get you motivated. You don't just push to hit goals in the end of the year. It happens all the time. On top of that, the excitement and focus you feel every December are now constant. No matter how this year went, after just 3 months, you get the chance to start over and do better. After 12 weeks, like at the end of the year, you take a break, reflect, and recharge. It could be a short weekend or a whole week off. Ultimately, when you start thinking in 12-week cycles, you'll make every day count. The 12-week approach fundamentally changes the way you think and act. The point here is that your thinking drives your actions, which shape your results. To improve your results by at least 4 times, it is crucial to change how you think about your time and schedule. Once you have changed your time frame, how can you ensure that you will execute effectively? This brings us to the third takeaway: the emotional connection. The concept of the 12-week year is simple to understand, but implementing it can be challenging. Execution of a plan often means stepping out of the comfort zone and doing tasks that feel uncomfortable or unfamiliar. But if there's no strong reason to do those hard things, we usually stick to what's easy. The problem is, the important tasks are usually the hard ones, so we end up not doing them well. But you need to remember that the number one thing that you will have to sacrifice to be great, to achieve what you are capable of, and to execute your plans, is your comfort. To do that, it's important to establish an emotional connection with what you want to achieve. The best way to create an emotional connection is by creating a clear vision of our future. This vision is where high performance begins. It's where we imagine what's possible for ourselves, both personally and professionally. Having a strong vision motivates us more than anything else. When things get tough, it's our vision that gives us the strength to keep going. The bad news is that when we create our vision, our brain is wired to resist change and postpone big dreams because the fear center of our brain, the amygdala, kicks in when we face uncertainty. It tries to keep us safe by avoiding risky situations, even if those risks could lead to a better future. However, the good news is that another part of our brain, the prefrontal cortex, becomes excited when we imagine great things for ourselves. It's like having a built-in cheerleader for our dreams. The key is to actively focus on our vision. If we don't, the amygdala will stay in control and keep us stuck. By regularly thinking about our desired future, we can train our brains to support our dreams instead of fearing them. Now the question is, how does it look in practice? How can you start your first 12-week year? This brings us to the execution system. Execution is the single greatest market differentiator. Great companies and successful individuals execute better than their competition. It was found that top performers use 4 main execution disciplines: a clear vision, an effective plan, process control, and measurement. Before we dive into each part, it's important to know that applying the 12-week year to your life will be an emotional journey. You'll experience the emotional cycle of change, which consists of 5 stages people go through when changing their behavior. It starts with uninformed optimism, the most exciting stage where we imagine all the benefits of change. At some point, you'll encounter the valley of despair, where many people give up due to challenges. Finally, there's success and fulfillment, where we complete the cycle and enjoy the full benefits of change. To reach the final stage and fully enjoy the benefits of the 12-week year, you must push through discomfort and the valley of despair. This is where your vision helps you move forward and not give up. To create a clear vision, think about both your long-term and short-term goals and make sure they're realistic. Start by imagining where you see yourself in 10 years. This could involve reaching financial independence or starting a family. Once you have a long-term vision, narrow it down to where you want to be in 3 years. This might include getting promoted at work or buying a house. Don't be afraid to dream big, and review your vision daily to stay on track. This leads to the second step. Make your 12-week plan. This leads to the second step. Make your 12-week plan. To increase your chances of success, one of the best things you can do is create a written plan and follow it. Your 12-week plan has 2 levels: 12-week goals, which are what you want to achieve in 12 weeks to work towards your vision, and tactics, which are the specific steps you'll take to reach each goal. Keep it simple. Focus on up to 3 goals for each 12-week period and choose the right tactics each week to achieve them. For example, if your 12-week goal is to lose 12 pounds, your tactics could include doing 15 minutes of cardio 4 times a week. Make your goals and tactics as specific and measurable as possible. Set a deadline for when you want to reach your goal or complete each tactic. Once you've set your 12-week goals and created a plan, you need to manage how you follow the plan. This leads us to the third step: process control. It involves tools and activities that help you stick to your plan, even when things don't go your way. This support system has 2 main parts. The first is a weekly plan, which breaks down the 12-week plan into daily and weekly tasks. For example, if your goal is to lose 12 pounds, your plan for week 2 might include doing 15 minutes of cardio 4 times a week, drinking 8 glasses of water each day, and limiting calories to 1,200 per day. The second item is peer support. You meet with 1 to 3 others each week for a 20-minute meeting to stay accountable. Everyone shares their progress, results, challenges, and plans for the next week. The group gives feedback to help each person improve. Finally, to stay on track, you need to measure your execution. Once you have a weekly plan, focus on your weekly execution score instead of just results. At the end of each week, rate yourself on how many tasks you completed. If you score 85% or more over 12 weeks, you'll likely achieve your goal. If your score is around 60% consistently, you probably won't reach your 12-week goals. Pay attention to what your numbers tell you. The benefit of the 12-week year is that after 3 months, you can see how you're doing and make adjustments as needed. This way, you can improve and build on what works well in each 12-week period. Now that you know how to start your 12-week year, it is important to take action. Research shows that when you learn something new, the faster you act on it, the more likely you are to make it a habit in your daily life. Remember, we have 2 lives: the life we live and the life we are capable of.